Whoops. Forgot to pull the microphone down. What is going on, YouTube people? Northeast Ohio Sports Cards. Getting the mic adjusted here. Here for a little live stream Q&A. Figured I'd pop on for a little bit. Got the Hawks Sixers up on one screen. Chat up on the other screen. Gonna go for about an hour or so. Flipping Steve starts at 9. I don't want to overlap with him, so we'll probably wrap up before he gets started, and maybe we'll go raid his live stream, sending everyone over that way for a little impromptu raid. What is going on, chat? What's up, Charles? What's up, Daniel? What's up, Ryan? What's up, Global? The 92 Wolverine set's all right. Those cards are really tough grades. They're super cheap, like cheaply made. I don't know that they would hold any crazy long-term value. Oh yeah, that's right. You're in the future. Who wins tonight? The Hawks, Sixers, or the Jazz and Clippers? Since it's tomorrow. I'm sure you would never get sick of hearing that joke. So, yeah, not a whole lot going on. The NBA playoffs got wild with the Kyrie injury. Kind of gave new life to the Bucks after they looked dead and buried. PMGs are always insane. I mean, that's pretty cheap for Mosaic, but I really think most of the last year rookie quarterbacks are drastically overvalued. Burrow, Herbert, Hurts isn't too expensive. I talked about it yesterday's video. They just seem drastically overpriced and doomed to go down quite a bit once the season starts. If I had any of those guys, I would probably be looking to move them, at least higher end cards anyway. Life on the other side of the world is just grand. I want more boxes of X-Men Metal. I feel like I did not pre-order enough, and this is coming from someone that has 6 of them. Speak of the devil. I do not. It sounds like they're locked in for the 23rd finally, or the 30th. 23rd or 30th. I forget which. I just actually had it up here. Let me find the tab. This says June 30th, but I've also heard June 23rd. They are back in stock on DA Card World, both single boxes for $279, or if you want a little bit of a price break, the full case for $3,200. I still don't know what I'm going to do with mine. I have 6 coming. I clearly want to rip some, but if prices keep going up, I might be able to sell off half my boxes and basically not pay anything for them. I don't know. I'd actually like to get more. I don't know. I really don't know what I'm going to do. Well, they're not $500 a box price right now. They're $279. You can readily get them at $279. They're right here. You can buy them right now. Here, I'll even save you guys the Google search. But no, I don't think the $500 price will hold because they're not actually $500 yet. People are listing them on eBay for $500, but they shouldn't be selling for that much. They're readily available online for $279. Yeah, that's what I got mine for, $199. I got 6 boxes locked in at $200. So I'm just excited to rip something. I'm excited to try to put the set together, maybe. So I'll probably rip at least 2 or 3 boxes and then see how they look, see how it goes. That Upper Deck preview that came out a couple weeks ago, a couple days ago, about a week ago, kind of got me hyped to want to get more of them, actually. I don't know anything about the AMC nonsense. I mean, I know what it is, but I don't pay attention to the shenanigans of day trading and crypto nonsense, whether it's stocks or crypto. So yeah, NBA playoffs went kind of sideways. Giannis has new life, so we'll see what happens. I'm not big on Marvel Ages. I mean, sketch cards are always cool, but I don't know. I kind of missed the boat on Black Diamond. I really wasn't interested in it because it was movie property stuff, which I don't get me wrong, I love the MCU. But when it comes to my cards, I want more comic book art, and I didn't like the manufactured patches. I mean, they look cool, but I just don't like the idea of manufactured patches. That being said, having seen a bunch of stuff posted online about them, I kind of wish I got some Black Diamond, at least a Black Diamond box to rip. What's the significance of this one? I don't remember. For sure. For sure. I'll be curious to see how hard they are to pull because you're not guaranteed a PMG in a box. They threw some nonsense in there about a PMG or like some random pink parallel or something. The I think the geodes or whatever are going to be really nice too. First re, I don't know about a 9.6. I'd rather have a 9.8. I'd probably just sell as is. It's basically going to go for raw. I'm assuming there's an issue with it somewhere, so having it in a slab protects you from a potential return if someone gets it, looks it over, and doesn't like something on it. I do. I have one order with PSA that I sent myself. That is Marvel Series 2, Marvel Series 1, and 92 Jim Lee X-Men. It's like 10 cards. And then I have one order that is a mix of basketball, football, and baseball, about 16 cards out with Card Collector 2. Those went out. I think that's like economy level right after Halloween. So I don't know, maybe another month on those. I would love to have those back before the National. There's nothing crazy in there. The nicest card in there probably is a Kevin Porter Jr. silver, an AJ Brown select field level silver, and some Jordan Alvarez refractors. And then it's just a bunch of base nonsense. But I would really like to have that order back before the National. Whether that happens or not, I don't know. But I would just like to have the inventory for the National. They are. I saw this pop up. Yeah, you'll get like little pieces of giant size X-Men #1. There's even the one that popped up was a Chris Claremont signed card that had a cutout from giant size X-Men or one of those issues. Might have been 94. I don't remember, but it looked really good. You got a case of X-Men or yes, I got a Wolverine PSA 10 back, Venom PSA 9, and then I have a bunch more in that PSA sub that's out right now. That's a regular order that got checked in April 16th. So I'm probably a ways away from getting that back, just given PSA shenanigans. Uh, that got sent right as the price increases happened. That was my last order in before prices jacked up. So it'll probably be a hot minute before I get that one back. Not gonna lie, but that has a bunch of Series 2 in it. It's mostly Series 2 actually. Nice. That's not bad. 50-50 is fine, especially these days. That's not terrible at all. Best guess on the lowest cost PSAs will offer in the future. I'm probably going to do a video on this when we get closer to July 1st. I don't think we see a low cost grading option come back right on July 1st. I think Express opens back up again at like 150 a card. and maybe regular at like 50 a card, but I think they put some sort of caps in place to prevent people from just dumping piles of cards on them. I think it's a while before we see a economy level or a bulk service open back up again because they're still pretty far behind on bulk and econ orders. Really, I think they're like in the October on econ orders. I know the complete through date tracker is not that far through, but so they got a ways to go still on that backlog of the older stuff. They're getting pretty caught up on the faster turnaround time stuff, but I don't. I don't know. I picked the Hawks initially, which right now they're up 4. Part of that was I thought Embiid was going to look way worse than he did, and he looks pretty damn good so far. So I'll be curious to see if he could survive. I just feel like he's one bad landing away from re-injuring himself, and then you're just screwed. So I don't know. The knee definitely scares the hell out of me. But I mean, if the Nets manage to get by the Bucks, they're not going to be complete. The Bucks seem very beatable, to be quite honest. So yeah, I think there's a good chance. As long as Embiid's knee stays stable, I think they have a good chance to come out of the East. They were my initial pick to come out of the East before the playoffs started. A lot's happened since then. But I also, at this point, I would have to say I think a Western Conference team's winning the title. Sure, absolutely. I don't know that you want your picture taken with me, but whatever. It's fine. I have people come up all the time at local shows and stuff. So yeah, feel free. If you guys ever see me at a local show or whatever, or the national, yeah, come up, say hey. Nice. Where'd you get your case of X Men metal through? Through David Adams, or do you have your own hookups? I agree. He played really well last night with when they were running a court in transition. As soon as they got into a half court offense, he looked like crap. He needs to fix his free throw shooting, though. I think he's more in his head in it about everything else. No, not really. Yeah, I kind of agree with this. I think the Suns are the favorite right now. I like the Jazz a lot, but the Mitchell ankle injuries scared me a little bit, and whatever else. I think something else might be going on with Mitchell. I'm not sure what, but he took that hard fall right at the end of game 3, I think it was game 2, and he hasn't looked great. Didn't look great in game 3 for parts. But if he's fully healthy, they really need Conley back. I'll be curious to see how tonight's game goes. I would really like the Jazz to come out over the Clippers. I just think a fully powered Jazz team against a fully powered Suns team is going to be fun. I don't know. Why do you keep watching them? Sixers Suns finals that will destroy the basketball card market. I mean, basketball card market wise, I don't know like what the ideal matchup is. I guess Trey Young making it all the way. I don't know. I mean, there at least you got Booker, CP3, Embiid. That's about it. Simmons. Thoughts on why the heck these players are questionable? High ankle sprains is nothing to mess around with. Kyrie's looked pretty bad, and Mitchell's playing through his. Yeah, I thought you did some breaks. I wasn't sure if maybe you had some back channel connections somewhere. I wish I got a full case. I got just 6 boxes, which is a half case, but I ordered them in pieces and parts. So yeah, I don't disagree with this global sports card. I believe in a Giannis resurgence in prices. Yeah, Kyrie's ankle injury did not look nice. Let me take a drink real quick. A lot. The market just doesn't respect them for whatever reason it is. It's like a mystery that nobody ever can figure out. They burned a lot of people last year. You'd think at this point in time people would be over that by now, but it's just. I mean, even look at BGS stuff. Their stuff's falling behind. I posted today on the community post. You can go look at it. A BGS 10 LeBron Topps Chrome went for like 3,000, 4,000 more than a PSA 10. That seems pretty crazy to me. The gap on BGS 10 to PSA 10 used to be a lot wider. So if BGS can't even get respect versus a PSA 10, SGC has no chance. My biggest issue with him is obviously liquidity. They just do not sell fast. And I honestly think they feel cheap in hand. Some cards look really good in them. Some cards look really bad in them. I've talked about this a ton before. I've showed examples. I don't have my case next to me. It's upstairs. Prism looks really bad in SGC slabs. Optic looks really good in SGC slabs. So it just depends. I don't know. His stuff's been trending up the last week or so. And I assume it's going to go even higher after last night. I haven't checked today. A lot of people don't like older CGC cases because there's a higher chance of Newton rings. The label doesn't look as good in my opinion. And I think they were easier to tamper with. What's up, Donald Ross? Shooter! What's up, Tube? I mean, I don't think anyone saw coming what happened. At least not this fast. So next year's NBA class is loaded by all accounts. Like if you listen to any of the draft gurus, it's essentially a loaded top 5 with Jalen Suggs and Cade Cunningham leading the way. Those are going to be the 2 names everybody wants. And then there's 3 other guys. I cannot remember them off the top of my head. 2 of them are from the Elite League or whatever they call it, Ignite League, the G League thing where they paid guys to go play there instead of go to college. I cannot remember their names. And then I think there's a foreign guy too. Cannot remember his name. But Suggs and Cade Cunningham. Cade Cunningham's probably going to be the number 1 overall pick. They are both really good, especially Cade. So there should be a lot of hype for this upcoming NBA class. I am absolutely planning on being at Canton on Saturday. I'm usually there right when it starts. I usually like to get there early. So I should be there within the first hour or so. At what price are you targeting in Jordan rookie PSA 8? Look at the National. What day are you going to the show? I don't follow the Jordan market super close. So I haven't been tracking like his in and outs of his day-to-day prices. So I can't give you a specific bet on that. I am looking at a LeBron Topps Chrome. I'm probably going to pull the trigger before the National on that. His stuff's already starting to slowly creep back up. I will be at the National Thursday through Sunday. I'm getting there halfway through the day on Thursday, full day Friday, full day Saturday, and we'll be leaving probably in the morning on Sunday. I'll probably hit the show really quick Sunday morning to take like one last lap and then get out of there. I'm driving, so lunch maybe. I'm probably going to be super busy though. I'll probably barely have time to eat. I'm targeting so essentially right now in the down market, I'm targeting more higher end players. So I'm looking at, I kind of talked about this the other day. In basketball, I'm looking at LeBron and Luka. In football, I'm looking at Mahomes and Baker because I'm always looking at Baker. And in baseball, I'm looking at the big 4 of Soto, Tatis, Acuna, and Vlad. I like Otani, but the injuries still scare the hell out of me on Otani. So, yeah, I mean, I don't think getting in the Jordan or the Bird Magic is a bad play right now in the down market at all. At all. I love them. I absolutely love them. I've been buying a bunch of 80s stuff. I did the mail day video last week. They're still sitting next to me. I picked up a ton of stuff, mostly classic Wolverine covers from X-Men runs. So I don't think you could go wrong with pretty much anything X-Men right now, especially older. It's fine. It's static number one seems to get hyped like every 6 months and then kind of goes back down again, then randomly gets hyped again. It is what it is. I'm not big on it. I'm just more of a Marvel guy. I'm not super familiar with these. I'm like I know what they are, but they're interesting. But I don't know. I'm very curious, and this is spoilers for tomorrow's video. Tomorrow's video, I recorded it already, is about football, and I am very interested to see. We should start to see price increases on pretty much all football in the next 30 to 60 days. So if that happens, that's good. The question is does it happen? And then how much does it happen? I don't expect it to go up like it did last summer. That's just not realistic. But are we in a weird place where I don't want to spoil too much for tomorrow? Everyone's been saying wait to sell your football come July and August. If everyone dumps their inventory on the market at the same time, does sellers outweigh buyers and actually cause prices to dip? I try to stay away from the prospecting hype game. I think it's a smart play. I personally have not bought any Lou Bob. I'm just focusing on cards that were. I'm looking at cards right now that were typically out of my reach prior to this. So I'm just looking at stuff on a different level than Lou Bob stuff. I would rather buy the big four in baseball or the other guys that I mentioned. I think he's a little too hot right now. He spiked. He spiked when he had the big 3 home run game against Max Scherzer. He pulled back a little bit, kind of cooled off a little bit, and now he's hot again. I would probably wait. The way the baseball guys have gone so far, like Acuna, Tatis did the same thing. Their prices get really hot for like 2 weeks because they're nuclear, and then they cool off, and then their prices cool off a little bit, and there's like a little window to buy back into them. So I'd wait on that personally. I am looking for Vlad. Like I would definitely buy into like refractors if I could find a good deal on one, but I don't know that I'd want to pay like the hot prices that they're at right now. But they're definitely on my radar. I don't know. I really don't. Third and long. These are questions that I ask in tomorrow's video. Not so much the PSA pause, but because really, Prism NFL got into PSA prior to the closure. The only thing PSA affected in the football market is Select. It definitely hurt Select. I think some of it's there now. I think a lot of the guys still playing have room to go down because their prices are inflated because they're still in the market or still playing. Like I think LeBron, we may have hit the floor already. I don't know. I really don't know, but I think there's a decent chance that LeBron, we may already be at the bottom. Maybe it goes down more. I don't know, but it seems like it went down. Like his Topps Chrome PSA 9 got just under 4K and then immediately spiked back. I shouldn't say spiked, kind of leveled out between 4 and 4,500. I haven't heard of any changes since the SCI video that they did about a month ago or 3 weeks ago in regards to ramp up. I'm surprised they've been able to keep up I mean, I guess that kind of the scary. I mean, you can kind of take this one of two ways. So BGS is closed now. PSA is still closed. SGC lowered their prices, and they've still been able to keep up. So that either tells me, if you want to look at it glass half full, that they've ramped up production even more and can keep up with the demand. If you want to look at it a glass half empty, it's because a lot of people probably just aren't sending cards to SGC because, you know, people just don't like SGC still. PSA 8, PSA 9, BGS 9 is the market that I'm looking at. Just depends on the price and how the card looks. I agree with the MLB rookie crop hurting, but MLB's strong right now with its stars. I mean, Tatis, Soto, Acuna, and Vlad, not so much Soto, and then you could throw Otani. Like those five alone are absolutely insane this year. Soto started has been up and down, but he's been really heating up lately. And then you could even throw DeGrom into the mix. I don't like messing with pitchers, but his stuff's been going crazy as well. So baseball's had a strong star market this year. Jordan, LeBron, and Kobe, we'll see where they end up shaking out at. No, most basketball's still not creeping up. Just Donovan Mitchell's been going up slightly. Most of it's still down. I mean, I could look at the NBA. I have price movement by cards up over here. I can pull up basketball real quick. Yeah, here's the last 7. It's still a bloodbath. Last 7 days, still a lot of red. Little bit of green. Yeah, Donovan Mitchell. Mitchell's seen the biggest bump the last few days. And I would imagine Chris Paul too. I just haven't looked at his stuff yet. It's pretty low pop. So I have some slight concerns with this as well. We'll see. I mean, buying wax low is never a bad thing, but there does seem like there is a boatload of select out there. They've come down quite a bit, though. I mean, they're still high, but they have definitely come down quite a bit. Uh, sure, you can. I mean, there's definitely logic in holding some stuff, but there's at least a chance that stuff could be at an all-time high right now and that it keeps going down throughout the summer. We're just all assuming. We don't really know. I'm just not big on soccer. Russell Wilson's fine. I would prefer Mahomes if I was going to throw money at football. Vintage everything always just does its thing. Slow and steady. Has Pete Alonso done anything this year? Isn't he batting like 225 or something? I haven't heard a thing about Pete Alonso this season. I don't know about nobody going to hit 50 home runs. Tatis and Vlad could both hit 50 potentially. Acuna could go 40-40. Plus, they're about to crack down on spin rates anyway. I am a little worried about Mitchell's ankle. I loved it. I don't want to get into spoilers in case people haven't seen it yet, but I thought it was great. Give me hours of Owen Wilson and Tom Hiddleston just talking MCU nonsense in a room together, and I will watch it. Mitchell's angle, I am definitely concerned about it. As someone that has a lot of Mitchell, not a lot of Mitchell cards, but has a decent portion of Mitchell stuff. I am slightly concerned about it. I'll be curious to see how he looks in tonight's game once he comes out. But yeah, the biggest things I'm looking for right now are the LeBron. I'd like to get the LeBron monkey off my back. Um, whether it's an 8 or a 9. It could. Vintage football seemed like it never really got a run outside of a couple key players. I know Jim Brown stuff's way up, I believe, and some of the quarterbacks are way up. Vintage is always going to be like the safe, steady, boring thing. Like it's never going to like crash unless prices get drastically overinflated, like what happened with modern. But I just don't know if I see that happening or not. So I don't know. How many people are going to the national? Like out of chat, like how many of you guys are actually planning on attending the national? And was anyone at the Philly show this past weekend? For sure. Yeah, I'm like concerned about him for this series, not in the next season. Oh, nice. What you get, Steve? Steve, I know you got a show to prep for, but if you want to hop on, you can feel free. I dropped that invite link in the IG chat. But if you don't have time, I get it. I'm planning on rapping before you start. But if you want to pop on, feel free. I'd be curious to see what Jackie you got. I'm sure you'll be talking about it tonight. I saw a lot of Facebook buzz about this, the South Bend show. Have you been to Wrigley before? I went a few years ago for the first time. I think that's a smart play long term. I mean, you know, whatever. Herbert could go on and win a Super Bowl at some point in time in his career, but Mahomes already has one, and Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league with upside. I mean, Tom Brady is the best active quarterback in the league, but let's be honest, how many more years can he keep going? I say that, and he'll keep playing for another 100 years. Sorry, I was just checking something really quick. I don't know. Maybe at the National. I don't know. He did have a pretty brutal playoffs. He is would be on my list of guys to target on a dip for sure. Just that a lot of talk about it leading into the South Bend show. Not that it wasn't good. Just a lot of like Facebook posts about people talking about, oh, there's a big show in South Bend this weekend, yada yada yada. I don't follow the prospecting market at all in baseball. It's just not my thing. It's really not. I'd rather just put money into the proven players. They have come down. NBA wax prices have definitely come down. They have not bottomed out, but like Prism hobby boxes and stuff are way cheaper now than they were 6 months ago. Yeah, exactly this. I mean, you could be a huge Herbert fan. There is no way a Herbert Silver Prism should be about the same price as an Optic Hollow Mahomes. Like, just no way. Nice. Wrigley's great. National's going to be interesting. I joked the other day. I forget where it was at. I don't remember if it was um, a live stream or a chat or maybe just an Instagram chats with people. I said the National is going to be one of two things, and I don't think there's going to be any middle ground. It's either going to be a funeral for the hobby or like the kickoff of the next wave of excitement. I don't think there's going to be any middle ground. I could be wrong. Odds are it'll probably be some middle ground, but I think the National is going to be a very, very interesting time. I feel like this one, having never been the one, this one just feels like it's going to be the biggest ever just due to the amount of media hype. I shouldn't say media hype, like content creator hype, because pretty much everyone I know or watch or follow or don't follow is going. And the amount of videos that are going to be coming out from the National is going to be absolutely insane. I agree. His channel is really good. I watch his stuff on occasion. I subscribe to him. I don't watch every single video he puts out, but I watch quite a bit of his stuff. Smart play. I mean, he is until he isn't. You know what I mean? This pitcher scared the hell out of me. Yeah, just pitchers. Yeah, this is the big question. How is stuff priced at the National? Are people realistic or are they still pricing at February stuff? Because my local experience has been 50-50. Uh, I agree, Steve. I agree. If you didn't hear me earlier, feel free to pop in if you want before your show starts. We're all going to raid flipping Steve's chat in 40 minutes. I've always been a bigger believer in Tatum than Booker, personally. I could be wrong on that, but I've always put Tatum in front of Booker. Booker has looked really good, but Tatum looked amazing too. If you don't like large crowds, the Nationals probably not the place for you because it sounds like it's going to be absolutely packed. Absolutely packed. We'll be putting COVID vaccine to the true test at the National. Thoughts on the Marvel card market outlook, not just 90 and Pell, given continued comic book market. I think like the PMGs and jambalayas and that sort of stuff, the more rare stuff, will definitely continue to climb in value. I think PSA 10s of any of the other stuff will do okay as long as it's a key character. To this point, there has not been a direct correlation between like a comic book surging. So say like ASM 300, for example, like that going way up and a corresponding Venom card following it or whatever example you want to use there. So we haven't seen that yet. So I don't know how closely the two are tied together yet. But the more rare stuff seems like it's going to be doing pretty well for a while, especially PMGs. I haven't seen this. I mean, they're getting slightly more respect, but I don't know that the market still respects them. Like I know, I have SGC slabs in my case, and when I go to shows or when I go to like when I was at Card Collector 2 trade night, at least 3/4 of the people wouldn't even look at them, just had no desire to even look at them, regardless of what card was in it. And I don't have like anything super crazy high end in SGC slabs. I have like a Trey Young 2018 Prism base. I have a Luca Optic base, both SGC 10s. I have a Job Blue Velocity 9.5. And I had plenty of people tell me like, nah, I don't even want to deal with SGC slabs. So, I mean, maybe comps are starting to tick up a little bit. I think it's more that SGC prices are kind of staying where they are, and PSA prices are falling down because they were overinflated to begin with. So it's not so much that SGC comps are going up, it's that they're staying the same and PSA comps are coming down. I don't know that that's necessarily respect for SGC 10s more so than it's just that the market's saying that PSA 10 prices were overinflated. I haven't done a data deep dive on it yet either. So that's just kind of anecdotal. It could. It depends on how they look. You know what I mean? Like, do they win with him dropping 40 and 50 a game? Or do they win despite him, looking like Rick Ankiel at the free throw line and bricking threes left and right? It really depends on how they play. They better, if they don't win with Kyrie and Harden both out, whoo boy. Giannis stuff will go to the basement. I like StarStock. I am not big on ComC, but I spend a ton of time on StarStock. I have a tab, a dedicated, almost an entire dedicated monitor that is just StarStock 24/7. Yeah, I mean, I hope they're right for their sake. There's a good chance that it might not. Who knows? I agree. I'll be curious to see what the SGC vibe is at the National. I don't think PSA reopening hurts anything. It can only help, just because it'll get that flow going again. People want to get raw to send in the grade, all that. Subs will start coming back. I think the National could, or it could. I think it could go both. I just mentioned this earlier. Maybe you missed it. I said I feel like the National is going to be one of two things: either a funeral for the hobby or a coming out party for the second wave. And I'm not. Once again, when I say second wave or like prices going back up again, we're probably never going to see February and August prices of last year, like February 2021 and August prices of 2020 on most stuff. Like that's just unrealistic. But cards beginning to actually go back up again and the normal cyclical patterns, like there's going to be plenty of times now where not all cards are going up. And that's how it used to work. And that's how it should work, frankly. For the last 9 months, it's been literally almost actually the last year from March 2020, the end of March of last year through March of this year, literally anything you bought pretty much went up. So pretty much, I'd agree with this. They're basically the same thing, just one's a more modern version. You're not wrong, Gregory. Yeah, that's true too. But if they're not, I agree. That's absolutely could happen. But I also wonder if the reverse is true, where all these people haven't been selling the last 3 months. The last Dallas show was kind of a meh show. Everyone just wanted to trade. No one wanted to sell. Um, Philly seems like it was the same way. A lot of the local and smaller regional shows seem to be the same way. Does it get to the point where it gets to the national and some of these guys are like, hey, I need to like actually make some money this year? And if stuff's not moving like day one or day two, I wonder if by like Saturday or Sunday, people start slashing prices to get actual cash out. I don't know. I've never been on the dealer side of the table, and I don't know many dealers, at least on that level. So I don't know. I really don't. I could see it going both ways, or starting one way and shifting middle of the show potentially. Like maybe the show starts with exactly what you said. You know, Wednesday night, Thursday rolls around, and everyone's 20% over eBay comps. And by the time Sunday rolls around, they're 30% under eBay comps because they want to move stuff and get some cash out of the show. I'm sure, I don't know what it costs to set up at the National, but I'm sure it's not cheap. Hey, man, I've been watching baseball since the 80s. I've never had raw cards sent home. I've only had graded cards sent home, and they are lightning fast on sending graded cards. I don't know that we see bulk open back up this year. I'd be surprised. I've heard a lot of negative things about HGA the last 2 to 3 weeks. I think it depends. It just depends on the overall health of the market. Um, None because the rookie class sucks. Can I say none? I don't think Lamelo's that good, so he's fine, but he's not best player on a team. Good. It seems to be trending that way right now. Money, you could still make money flipping. You just have to be a lot smarter about it. You really have to put your work in now. You can't just literally buy anything and have it double before it gets to you. I was actually looking at a Choctaw Chrome potentially as a good buy. I love Choctaw as a PC item, and I think it's good. It's probably one of his best non rookie cards for base stuff. I've seen a couple on Facebook, but 9.5 is their main grade. He could be. I think someone will come out of this class that ends up being like an all star, obviously, but I just don't see them. I don't see a clear cut answer to that question right now. Someone will come out of the woodwork at some point in time, but Atlanta down. I was just sneaking a peek at the Atlanta score. I see they're down 5 at almost halftime. 600 seems like a lot given the current world that we live in. I think it's under 400 now. I could be wrong. I haven't checked for a hot minute. Let me see if there's one. 413 is the current for Zion base prism right there. Looks like it's flattening out at 4. It could go back up to 6 if it stays at 4. I think it's going to go below 4, to be quite honest. I don't know that Anthony Edwards is best player on a championship team type of guy. I actually like Edwards more than Ball, I think. He seems like, I don't know, your classic old school two guard that just scores a bunch and doesn't do anything else. Which in this NBA, I don't know if that works or not. I mean, I don't know that everyone bought during the boom. If you bought not in August and not in February, you're probably doing not great, but okay ish. Best thing I ever did was buy comic books the first 3 months of the year and not much sports cards. I think it got under 800. Let me see if it's on here. 2018 Prism base 766. That's not a new low. It was much lower than that last year prior to the bump up. Clearly Donruss, meh. I don't know about that. He has to show it to me. All the Bowl. You should have it all already, so there shouldn't be anything left to buy. He could. I'd like him in fantasy. I wouldn't want to buy any of his cards. You can get good deals on my slabs. A lot of people overprice on there, but if you're like checking all the time, you could definitely find deals on stuff. I've bought stuff off my slabs before. I like my slabs quite a bit. I keep meaning I haven't sold on my slabs. I keep meaning to apply to get approved to sell, and I keep forgetting. But it's not bad. It's a solid site. They have comic books on there now too. But in general, I like my slabs. Yeah, there's some truth to that, but you still have to buy cards that people want. Like I'm not gonna try to get super obscure just because something's super low pop or short print. You know, I still want to stick to silvers, jersey match, you know, iconic, whether it's Genesis or something like that. But I'm still gonna stick to silvers, hollows, and something that matches color matches the card. Basically, is what I'm looking at. I don't know if it gets all the way down to 500, but I bet you it gets down to 6 at least. Spectre's interesting. I've come around on this one the last month or so. I don't have any of it. I've been looking to maybe get some of it. A lot of people don't know that it exists, which is a problem. They're very tough grades, which is a problem. I don't know a great answer to this question because I don't dive into the older stuff very much. What's up, Mike? XRCs are nice. I like XRC. I'm just curious to see what the football market does. Like I said, that's spoilers for tomorrow's video. The football market is in a very interested to see what happens. Does group think screw the football market up and everyone tries to sell at the same time? Are they? I haven't been paying that close attention. I just randomly the TV with it on is behind. I have a second monitor right here, and then the TV with it on is behind that. I just really don't think it makes sense to put money in the position players. I really don't. Um, I think it's fine. We've definitely been seeing a trend lately in the comic book market that first solo series stuff, especially issue ones, are going way up. Anything with a classic cover or a minor key right now is probably not a bad buy. I don't have any hockey cards. I don't know much about that market. There's a million of them out there. You could get the ones like the do-it-yourself ones off Amazon or whatever with the foam inserts and cut it out yourself. I have a Firebox. I like it quite a bit, but there's a billion different options out there. But I have no issue with my Firebox. I think any PMGs are good buys. Oh, F1. I talked to Hannah about this when she was on. I know she's big into it. She collects cards. I worry it's the next shiny toy, and it's overinflated right now. She's real big on it, and you're right. A lot of content creators are real big on it. I'm not. I'm going to take a wait and see approach on this one. If I miss the boat, I miss the boat. But everything in this market has shown that the Eye of Sauron likes to turn itself to whatever the new shiny object is, burn it into the ground for a month, and then quickly forget about it and turn its attention to the next thing. We've seen it with a bunch of stuff over the last few months, golf into tennis, now into this. Now WNBA is starting to get buzz. Olympic stuff is starting to get buzz. I'm just not big into the F1 thing. Best Wolverine key besides 180 and 181. Giant size X-Men 1. I like anything with his classic covers. Hulk 340, Limited Series 1, X-Men 133. I mean, there's a ton of different X-Men issues with him on the cover that I would consider classic covers. I'm not big on the Weapon X book hype. I know Justin, I don't know, I think he's in chat. I haven't seen him in chat, was big on that one. Yeah, I don't think this is a terrible play. Like, it could bite you in the ass, but as we like to say, you never go broke taking a profit. So if you're making 60%, take it, move on. If you leave some money on the table because it goes up some next month, then so be it. I don't think so. Maybe with the new show coming out, but it's not the same characters. So yeah, UFC I put in the same boat as F1. There's definitely a lot of good opportunities out there. Global, I 100% agree. There are still a lot of delays going on from COVID and things getting caught back up again. I'm not big on red, white, and blue personally. But if you're going to buy one, that seems reasonable enough. I actually just picked up a Trey Young. I was going to do a separate video on this, but I could show it now. I bought this on StarStock. I had it shipped home. I think personally, this particular run is very, very undervalued. It's funny. I talked about this. I hinted at in a video this week. I forget which one it was. Maybe it was last Sunday's video, like 8 days ago. That I bought a Trey Young card on StarStock that I thought was extremely undervalued and got for a good deal. And someone commented, they're like, "Was it this card?" And I was like, "Yeah." They're like, "That was mine." So I actually bought this card off StarStock, off someone that watches my videos, which is super small world. So this is 2018 Optic. I don't, glare is probably going to kill me here. Premium box set, PSA 10. Really nice looking card. Autofocus does not want to. There we go. It's got kind of like a scope look to it. I don't know how well that's showing up or not showing up on camera. It's getting a lot of glare. Numbered out of 249. Pop 40 on this. I got this for 550. The same day one sold on eBay for 700. So I'm going to expect this to come down from 700. Like the next comp on eBay would probably be under 700 with them getting, because I bought that when they were up, or like when the series was tied 1-1. But I sold a lot of raw Trey Young stuff the last couple weeks at Card Collector 2's Trade Night and at what else? Card Collectors 2 trade night and at the local show, and picked this up. This felt like a really good pickup. Number to 249 and pop 40. Oh, we got a special last minute guest. I'm going to bring in real quick here. 249 and pop 40. Oh, we got a special last minute guest. What is up, Steve? I surprised you. You weren't ready.
What's up?
What's going on, buddy?
Let me get the balancing act with the speakers here.
Yeah, you're good. Think we might be okay? Nope.
Yeah, I can hear you, but I just don't know if we have an echo or not.
We got a little bit of one.
How about now?
Testing. A little teeny tiny, but not much.
Let me move the mic over. All right. Maybe that's good.
There we go. What is up, Flipping Steve? He's about to go live in 15 minutes here. So I'm going to end when he goes live, and then we'll all go jump in his live stream. So we'll pull if this was Twitch, it would be called a raid. So I expect all 124 of you to immediately jump over to Steve's in 15 minutes.
I have stage fright, man. That's too many people for me.
So real quick, because you were at Philly, like what was the vibe? Where people? I know that you picked. I don't know what you picked up yet, but other than the Jackie, but just in general, were people willing to wheel and deal? Were they like, nah, man, this stuff's eventually going to go back up again. I'm 20% over eBay.
The Philly show was positive. Like I was trying to gauge the Philly show. I was going to use the Philly show to kind of gauge where we were at after Dallas. And there was a lot better negotiations with the vendors, a lot closer to comps. Buying, I mean, lots of vendors buying. Of course, you're never going to get full comp when you're selling to a vendor because they need room to make money. But within reason, I mean, I sold some stuff within reason. Still, certain cards not moving or not even for sale. It's funny because I saw a post on Instagram today talking about how Zion, now that, with other good young players doing good in the playoffs, Zion has kind of been forgotten about. That was kind of like the title for the Instagram post, but he wasn't forgotten about at this show. In fact, people were asking for Zions. They were wanting to buy your Zions, but there wasn't much Zion for sale. But vendors were like, do you have any Zion you want to sell? So I think people right now, with him being down, I'm seeing a lot of sellers or vendors wanting to buy Zion cards. Every Zion card that I had with me, and I had 4 different ones, I got an offer on. I sold 2 and I held 2, but and fair offers as well. Philly's a little bit different of a beast. It's less show and more go, as opposed to, or go show, however you want to put it. Less show as in content. You don't have a lot of people there, social networking, but it is a lot of trading and selling and buying, lots of tables. Sunday was busy, and that was the biggest feedback I got from a lot of vendors. Usually Sunday is slow and you can go and get deals. Every table I approached, they were like, man, we've had a great Sunday. I've sold so much stuff this morning and things like that. So it seemed like the market was pretty healthy at the Philly show.
Yeah, I mean, I've been saying for a while, I think once we kind of get this pricing stuff all sorted out and the market kind of straightens itself out, I feel like hobby-wise, it's going to have more energy than it's ever had, because like you talked about, the Philly show was hype. I was at the Card Collector 2 trade night. That was absolutely insane. There were so many people there. The hype for the National is insane. Like I saw, I don't know the shop real well, but one in Pittsburgh, Sports Card Junction, I think it was, posted pictures from a trade night that they did, and it was packed. There had to be like 70 people in this shop for a trade on a random Saturday night this past weekend. So I think the interest in the people are there. We just need to kind of reset ourselves and kind of get out of the, hey, a bunch of people probably overpaid for a bunch of stuff the last 6 months. Yeah.
And I was on really limited time yesterday because the show ended at 3 and I thought it was over at 5, and I probably didn't get there till noon. So, and the thing was, I was carrying my case of cards with me, and like every table was like, let me see what you have. Let me see what you have. I'm buying, signs, buying, on almost all the tables. Only one table did I see a gentleman say that he wasn't buying, and he was like strictly vintage. So yeah, it felt like it like I said, it just felt like a lot more serious buying and selling and wheeling dealing, and a lot less of a let's just go here type popularity type thing.
Yeah. I wonder
But
if vendors are like, hey, the market's down, let me stock up on inventory. Like ones
I
that
think
are
so.
the
Yeah.
ones that aren't like, upside down or in a bad
Mhm.
financial situation or have played it smart. I wonder if they're just like, all right, cool, market's down. I'm going to load up on inventory. The Nationals coming. Someone mentioned earlier. Do you think that vendors at the National are going to come in high priced because it's the National? I know neither one of us has ever gone, so but just
Yeah.
from the vibe that you've seen, do you think like we're going to walk in there on Thursday and everyone's going to be like 20% over eBay comps because it's the National? Like, are we actually going to be able to get deals there in the current market?
I'm not really sure. I can tell you yesterday there was one of the bigger vendors that had really nice stuff and a big spread. Um, Someone asked him, he was like, because he was priced well over eBay comp, and someone asked him, it was like, you got, your stuff's kind of priced. Where are you at on your prices? And he's like, look, my stuff's negotiable. He's like, I have my stuff priced high. That way I have room to be negotiated down, is what he was basically saying. That he would come down, but he didn't want to put eBay comps as his stickers and then be negotiated off of comps. So he was well over comps, but made it plain and simple that, hey, I'm intentionally overpricing my stuff with the hopes of, somebody negotiating off my price and it's still being reasonable. I was going by showcases. One of the first rows I walked down, and the guy's showcase, he didn't have a whole lot left. He might have had, he only had one showcase. He was a small setup, but he only had like maybe 10 cards left in it. And he was the first person. I was like, man, let me see what you have. As opposed, then this relates to the, are they stocking up, or are vendors stocking up? And he went through my case and pulled out a stack of stuff like this and told me, he goes, I'm buying and I'll give you 80% comp on this stuff, which was high. I mean, Dallas, it was 65. So this guy was like, I'll give you 80%. This guy was like, I'll give you 80% comp on all this. I sold off a nice little stack of that because at 80% comp, I was still winning because I bought the stuff at the right time. Now, there was a couple cards that would have put me upside down, and there were a couple cards I didn't want to sell. For instance, there was a Zion Red Wave I didn't want to sell because I'm into that card for like 900, and he wanted to give me like 5 for it. But the comp right now on that card is like 6. So he was still offering me $500 for a card that's comping at 6, which is a good offer, from a vendor's table. But
Well, yeah,
personally
because
for me, yeah.
if you sell that on eBay tomorrow for 6, you're only netting
Yeah.
out 535, 540 after shipping, taxes, and fees and all that. So, you take an extra 35 off the top to not have to deal with an eBay return or shipping. I'll do that all day.
Yeah. If I would have been into that card for 450, even though it's down from 900, if I'd have been into that card 450, I'd have probably sold it to him for like 600 or whatever and made $150 on it. That card would have just put me a little bit too much upside down. So that's one that I decided to hold. Plus, I have faith in Zion cards rebounding to an extent. Maybe not back to the prices, but to an extent.
Yeah, worst case, I think you sell that card in October for what you could probably break even on that card if you really wanted to get out of it in October. Even if you don't make a penny on it, you could be probably flat on that card and not have a problem with it. Do you think, and I know you got to scoot here in about 7 minutes to get ready for your thing. So my video tomorrow is about football, and I know that Brad and Dustin have talked about this a lot too. Do you think that the group think of everyone sell your football in July and August is going to have a negative impact, and we're not going to see the rise in football prices like everyone's saying that's going to come? Like, are sellers going to outweigh buyers because everyone and their brother's been saying sell everything between July and August?
Right. I think that the National will be football heavy. I think a lot of people will be. I think a lot of people were buying football yesterday. I sold Kyler Murray and Daniel Jones stuff, and those two young quarterbacks were liquid. I sold Carson Wentz rookies. I sold a Dak Prescott rookie. I sold off a lot of my base football. I mean, these were like base optics, and things like that. Base selects of Kyler Murray. People were buying that stuff up, and they were buying the base because I think it's starting to fall back into the category to where these vendors, everybody thinking high end, thinking parallels, thinking rarity, the vendors all of a sudden are finding out that they don't have anything that's liquid because there's only certain sellers that are going to come along and be able to buy that stuff. They still need base cards to remain liquid, or they sit with stale inventory until somebody finally buys something. Now, they may sell one card that can make their entire show, but as far as having a constant in and out of income, they're starting to realize they need to buy up some of these base cards. And they were buying base select premier levels off me, of Daniel Jones, Kyler Murray, Dak Prescott optics, like I said. So, and I'm guessing, I don't know if they're putting them right back out or if they're trying to hold for the football market to go up. I really didn't notice how that was working, but I knew that they were buying, and base football was selling, at least from my experience.
So here's the thing, specifically with base football. And I know you talked about this on your video. I think it was like a week or so ago, where you said the hate for base had kind of gone too far, and I agree in some extent. When you look specifically talking football, base football pop counts, especially pre-2019, are really low.
Mm-hmm.
Like 2018 Prism Lamar Jackson is like a pop 550 card. Like Baker's like 800, I think, and even Kyler, I think, is around 2,000 maybe.
Yeah, and even Kyler at 2,000. I think Kyler being the player that he is, because right now he's one of the big, between Dallas and Philly, he's one of the biggest names that people are asking for when it comes to the still prospecting on young quarterbacks. There's lots of people, lots of buzz around Kyler. 2,000 on his Prism. I mean, when I look at Kyler, I kind of compare him to Zion, from the same draft, kind of like the most hyped up player. People still wondering what's going to happen in their career. They flashed a lot of talent. So when you look in comparison between the pop reports of 2,000 and close to 18,000 between a Kyler and a Zion, there's still a lot of room, I think, on the base stuff with football.
I think Herbert stuff's going to be higher pop. I think 2020 they really ramped it up. And I think in general, I've been talking about this the last few videos that I've done, I think Herbert stuff's drastically overpriced. If I had anything remotely medium to high end Herbert, I would be looking to sell it as fast as possible, or sell it before the season starts anyway. It's maybe not necessarily like tomorrow, but I would be looking to move off of it before September 1 for sure. Because we all know what's going to happen. There's no way the Chargers, you go Burrow the same way. Chargers and Bengals aren't going to live up to expectations, and their prices are going to come down by week 4. And all of a sudden, that card's going to look a lot cheaper. You'll be able to sell it in August, July, tomorrow, and probably buy it back by Halloween for half of what you sold it for, would be my guess.
The other thing that I really noticed on two big cards that are down right now, the LeBron Topps Chrome and the Michael Jordan Fleer, those are cards that I know a lot of people are sitting on waiting for that basement, because they're probably target cards for a lot of people who always thought that card might be out of their range. I did not see a single LeBron Topps Chrome that wasn't a high-end parallel for sale. I didn't see a base, and I saw maybe one Jordan for sale, and that was like a PSA 9. Other than that, people were asking for them. They were like, do you have any LeBron Topps Chromes for sale? I think it's getting to the point to where the vendors are like, I'm going to start buying these LeBrons at 4K, because that's what they're going to buy them for, even though the comps are closer to 5, because they feel like that card is approaching its basement, which means if they feel like that and they start mass buying them in to fill up their inventory, then it's probably getting close to the basement on that card. My buddy that was with me was actually carrying one. He had a PSA 9, and multiple vendors wanted to buy it off of him. However, he's upside down on it, so he didn't want to come as far down as the vendors wanted to pay. But
what's he looking to sell it for? Maybe I'll buy it.
Yeah, no, right. But I can tell you that card right now, because I like that card as well. It's just even the Bird Magic Tops. That card is getting buzzy again too. The Jordan's getting buzzy, the Bird Magic's getting buzzy, and now the LeBron is getting buzzy, because people know that these are goats that are getting to an affordable price that probably they're not going to let it get any lower, for lack of a better phrase.
Yeah, I noticed the nines dipped just below 4,000. Like there was a very short window there where they got to right at 4,000, and they've already ticked back up to like 4,500,
Yeah.
4,800, 4,900.
I
They
think
haven't topped 5K
4,500.
yet, but they've been around 4,500.
I'm thinking 4,500 based on what I've seen coming out of Dallas and Philly. Because I even saw Sasha talking with Costa Cards, and they had some PSA 9 Chrome LeBrons out. And Sasha was talking about at 4,500, I'm starting back in on this card. You know, he didn't say none of that stuff on his channel or anything, but I heard that in conversation between two people discussing. So
I'm looking at maybe getting into an 8. I think the 9, I could pull the trigger on a 9, but it would wipe out most of my stockpile of cash, and I don't know that I want to put it all into just that one card. So I could get it on an 8 pretty easy and still have like 3K to play around with on a bunch of other stuff. So I think I may take that approach. I'm gonna let you get out of here because you need to go live on your own channel.
If I was to get into that card, I would probably try to trade into part of it and then cash the rest of it. But
yeah, but like you said, I'm having a problem finding one in person anywhere. No one has one out.
They don't want
to. I've been to 2 shows now. I can't find one.
Vendors just don't want to put them out. Those in the Jordans, and the ones that do, they still want comps from 4 months ago or whatever because they just feel like that card is too low. So
yeah, and I figure worst case, I could grab an 8 now, and then I could always trade up using the 8 later if I wanted to upgrade to a 9.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So. That's definitely.
All right, Steve's going to go live on his own channel. I'm going to relink to that down here in the chat, and I'm going to wrap up my stream so we can all go watch Steve show off his Philly pickups.
I'll see you guys in a little bit.
Later, Steve.
Later.
So yeah, we're going to wrap up. I'm going to catch a couple last minute questions here, and then we're all going to hop over to Steve's live stream. I don't know that Hulk 181 or Giant Size X-Men 1 cooldown. I think we're there. You know what I mean? That's stuff that's just going to keep going up. I'm just not big on LaMelo. All right, I'm sure I missed a bunch of stuff, but I just wanted to I wanted to grab this one specifically because I saw it. But yeah, everyone go check out Steve's live stream. The link is there. Nope, just whatever. Just go head on over there. I'll repost it again there. So let's all go check out Steve's live stream. Everyone hop over to there. Everyone have a great night. Subscribe if you haven't. Smash the like button. All the YouTube nonsense. We will catch you guys and girls tomorrow morning for a football video. And then I don't know what I have planned for the rest of the week. Peace.